Hey everyone, V Johnny C here with a brand new video. Today's gonna be a little bit different because instead of covering one region, I'm gonna cover a little bit of all of them. Jagex did a news release on their blog post for the upcoming areas, and I want to touch on those while they're still fresh with the information that we have. So let's go ahead and talk about those today. So I've had the mic for like a week, but my mixer wasn't here, and so basically I was stuck for like a week with a microphone right in my face that I couldn't use, just like staring at me. Anyways, getting into the I'm gonna start with each region, but I'm gonna do them in alphabetical order, excluding the ones I've already done. If you want to see those, go back and watch the Karamja Misthalin videos. And so those are the only two that I'm missing is the two starting areas and wilderness. All right, so starting with Asgardia. Now I downloaded a GIF player, which allows me to pause and go through these. We've got access to Port Sarim, Remington, Falador, and Trana. You will have access to White Wolf Mountain, but you will not have access to Catherby with Asgardia. We'll be able to access all the way up to Trollheim and God War's Dungeon. So God War's Dungeon is actually in Asgardia, and we will have access to Pest Control. Notable settlements, I'm going to take the important ones here. We've got Berthorpe, Dwarven Mine, maybe Entrana for Law Runes, God War's Dungeon. Port Sarim gives us access to a lot of things. You don't have access to Zaya, and then Taverley Dungeon, and Void Knight's Outpost, so Pest Control. Notable combat related activities are going to be Cerberus. Giant Mole is going to be huge for getting Crushed Nests, God War's Dungeon, Taverley Dungeon, and Warriors Guild for defenders. If you're going for Theater of Blood, you'll have the opportunity to get an Avernic. Notable non-combat activities, there's a lot. Basically, you'll get Motherlode Mine, Mining Guild, which isn't even on here. Why is the Mining Guild not on here? Crafting Guild, Fally Rooftop, Fally Tree Patch, all the farming stuff, Rogue's Den. Rogue's Den's going to be huge. You'll have access to the Rogue's Outfit, which is double thieving stuff, and Troll Stronghold Herb Patch, Taverley Tree Patch. A lot of farming stuff in Asgardia. Slayer tasks are going to be Black and Blue Dragons, Hellhounds, Skeletal Wyverns, Skeletal Creatures, and Spiritual Creatures, and Trolls. Unlocks. So there's a lot of quests to do, if I'm not mistaken, in Asgardia, and I'll go through that when I do the video on it. The only one that's actually auto unlocked is Merlin's Crystal. Not really a big deal. There's still plenty of experience to get from quests. Real quick, since this is the first time many of you have actually seen a drops tab for the new league, there are relic tiers that modify drop rates of certain items. Basically, your drop rates will only be modifying what's shown here. So crystal drop rates from Cerberus, your primordial pegs and boots crystals, primordial peg and eternals, and then God War's dungeon bosses. You'll also get increased drop rates of dragon boots from the spiritual mages. When it comes to the Caridian Desert, I can think of only maybe two real reasons on why you would pick this. One is Desert Treasure is auto unlocked, which means that you have the auto unlocked ancient magics. You still have to switch your spellbook though. And then the ability to make dart tips. Dart tips are going to be huge, especially if you unlock Terranwind with access to the blowpipe. You will need to unlock Desert as well. You can still get darts otherwise, but in order to make dart tips, you need the desert unlock. There's a couple other things like Pyramid Plunder, Agility, training, stuff like that, but that's the desert. Not to mention Mage Training Arena if you want to go through that mind-numbing experience. The Fremennik Islands are going to be a pretty unique territory. There's a lot of unlocks in this area, some endgame bosses that you might want to fight, and overall really good content, really good choice. So you get access to Keldergrim, which means you do have access to the Blast Furnace. You get access to the Lunar Isle, which means you have access to Astral Rune Crafting, as well as the Lunar Spellbook, Miscellanean, etc. Nay It's Not, and Jaizo. You get the Night Is Not Helm. You'll get access to the Jawbone, Notable combat related activities in the Fremnik province are going to give you access to the Basilisk Knights for the Jawbone addition to the Nate's Not helmet, DKs, which will give you Dragon Axe and Best in Slot rings, Archer ring, Zerka ring. You might want to use Warrior's ring for some occasions, and then you'll have access to Vorkath as well. Non-combat related activities, like I noted earlier, Blast Furnace, Kingdom Management, Relica Rooftop, and the Astral Runecrafting Altar. Slayer assignments, you'll unlock the Basilisk tasks, Cockatrice, Dagonoths, Jellies, Caress, Turots. Ice gloves also will be provided to you upon unlocking the area, and if you lose them, you can reclaim them from the League Tutor. This was one of the things that was brought up pretty frequently when talking about the Fae Islands, or the Fae provinces, whether or not we'll have access to ice gloves. Quest unlocks, Horror from the Deep, Dragon Slayer 2, which is huge. In order to actually access the Myths Guild, though, you will need to have access to Kandarin. Plenty of quests there. Underground Pass will actually be unlocked here, so you can get an Ivan staff should you unlock Kandarin. But again, you won't have access to the Underground Pass unless you have access to Teruin. And we'll talk about that here later. Dream Mentor auto unlocked, Animal Magnetism as well as auto unlocked, so you will be able to make an assembler, and then a bunch of tasks that are auto completed. As for increased drop rates, you'll get increased drop rates from Skeletal Visage, Draconic Visages, Dragonbow Necklace, Seer's Ring, Archer Ring, Seer Coal, Mud Battle Staffs, Warrior Ring, Berserker Ring, Dragon Axes, Basilisk Jaws, and then Leaf Bladed Weaponry. I believe Kandarin to be one of the biggest unlockable regions here. Nightmare Zone is locked and has been stated to be possibly the only mini game that has restrictions. Basically, you'll have Piscatoris through Sears Village and Catherby up until the White Wolf Mountain, all the way down to the Feldep Hills. Now, you should note that the Underground Pass is not accessible with Kandarin unlocked, so you will not be able to upgrade the Iban staff for the 2500 use rate. Notable settlements are listed up on the screen, but the really important ones are basically Apatol or Doin, the Barbarian Outpost for Barbarian Assault should you want to get a fighter torso or any of the other BA gear, Catherby for farming and fishing, Corsair Cove if you want some easy alchables and training, Myths Guild should you unlock Fremi with DS2, Piscatorius Fishing Colony should you want monkfish, Sears Village, Tree Gnome Stronghold, and Tree Gnome Village, and Notable combat related activities, the important ones, you get Ancient Caverns should you actually want to kill Mithril Dragons and get a Dragon Full Helm, Apatol Monkeys for MM1 and MM2 dungeons for chinning, Demonic Gorillas for Zenite Jewelry, we're talking Amulet of Torture, Anguish, Ring of Suffering, Kraken for Tridents and other things, Stronghold Slayer Caves, Neve Slayer Tasks, Smoke Devils. Notable non-combat activities, the Ardoin Market, Rooftop, Barbarian Fishing and Agility, Catherby Fishing, Catherby Farming, the numerous other things here. You've got Chinchampas, the Fishing Guild, Mist Guild, again, if you unlock the DS2 with Fremi. There's so many other things here. We'll go into this more in detail and actually do the Kandarin video. As for Slayer unlocks, you've got Black Demons, Cave Krakens, Chaos Druids, and Smoke Devils as the big ones. MM2 is auto unlocked and it's prerequisite, so you don't have to worry about actually questing to get through any of that. Now, King's Ransom is unlocked, but you still have to get through the Knight's Waves if you want to unlock Chivalry and Piety. Those are not auto completed for you, but the quest line is. As for the task unlocks, should you unlock Asgardia, you don't have to kill Zulrah, so if you're a little worried about killing Zulrah in less than efficient gear, don't worry about it, you don't have to kill Zulrah. Kandarin also gives you increased drop rates should you have the relics for Zenite Shards from Demonic Gorillas, Trident of the Seas and Kraken Tentacles, and the Occult Necklace. Talking about Mauritania, this is going to be an absolute unlock for me personally, because there's so much content here at the end game that I want to do. When you're unlocking regions or picking or deciding what regions you want to unlock, make sure you're doing it for what you think is fun, for what you want to do, and not someone else's choice. Giving you a quick rundown on what's available in Mauritania, you have access to barrows, cave horrors on Mostly Harmless Island, Frankenstein's experiments, which are actually pretty decent combat experience, grotesque guardians, haunted mines for the salve amulet, the nightmare of Ashihama for the best in slot crush offensive gear, access to Tarn's lair for enchanting those salve amulets, Shaders of Morton minigame, Slayer Tower, Theater of Blood, and the ability to kill vampires and maybe get you a Blood Fury. The Mauritanian notable non-combat activities are going to be the Canifis Rooftop Agility Course, the Dayald Essence Mine, Ectofunctus Prayer Training, the Hollowed Sepulchre Agility Course, Harmony Island Herb Patch, Port Phasmatis Allotment Patch and Herbs, Temple Tracking Minigame if you've watched Swampletics, and Pickpocketing Virelords for Blood Shards. As for Slayer unlocks, Banshees, Bloodvelds, Cave Horrors, Gargoyles, Necreals, and Vampires. Now keep in mind these are not the greater Necreals, these are the regular Necreals. As for auto unlocks, you'll get up to the Darkness of Hollowvale, so you'll still need to do a Taste of Hope and Sins of the Father. The Great Brain Robbery is also auto unlocked and the prerequisites, and then the Recipe for Disaster Pirate's Pete portion. Group content like the Nightmare and Theater of Blood will determine the drop rate modifier for the uniques from the MVP of that particular kill completion. Barrows armor pieces from the barrows are increased, granite gloves from Grotesque Guardians, granite hammers from Grotesque Guardians, granite rings from Grotesque, the Tourmaline cores, Ring of Endurance from the Hollowed Sepulchre, and all unique rewards from Theater of Blood and the Nightmare have a drop rate increase, again by the MVP though, on group related content. Last but not least, the Elvin Lands of Tyrannwyn. There's a lot of end game content here that I would really personally enjoy, PVM wise, skill wise. Looking forward to maybe doing Tyrannwyn. I still haven't decided on my second and third region unlocks. There's a lot here. You do get the access to the Gauntlet, Volcano, Zulrah, that Rabbit, the level 2 Rabbit, the Ironwar Slayer dungeon where you do get access to greater neck rolls, notable non-combat activities, enhanced crystal chest, all the farming stuff that's out there, the Prif Agility Course, Crystal Implings, which would be really sick, the Prif Hunting Grounds. I actually don't know what's there. I'll cover that in the Tyrannwyn video that I end up doing, and then the Prif House Portal. There's also the Teak Trees, which I hear are pretty sick for 2-ticking. Sacred Eel Fishing, Volcano, already said that. Slayer unlocks, Bloodvelds, Dark Beasts, Elves, Caress, Necreals, greater Necreals, Water Fiends. The actual unlocks, so auto unlock for Eagle's Peak, and that's basically just for box trapping, and then the entire quest line for Song of the Elves. You don't have to quest to get here, people. If this is your first place to unlock, it could be huge for you. Notable drop increases, Elvin Signet from Crystal Implings, Crystal Armor, Crystal Weapon Seeds from the Gauntlet, Blade of Salad from the Gauntlet, Crystal Tools. Now keep in mind with Crystal Tools, you're still going to need the Dragon variant of it. If you're going for the Crystal Pickaxe, you're going to need the Dragon Pickaxe to upgrade. So Volcano Shards, Tan's Fangs, Magic Fangs, Surf Visages from Zulrah, and then increased drop rate on Onyxes. I believe that this is one of the few places to actually PVM for Onyxes semi-consistently. And then let's not forget the coveted Dragonstone armor from the Enhanced Crystal Chests. Alright guys, that's it related to this news post. I did want to thank you all so much for watching my content. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see or change or hear about regarding Trailblazer. I hope the audio sounds better in this video. I was a little worried about changing it mid-series. Let me know. Last video is going to be up here somewhere. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Thank you so much.